Will you eat that there snack cracker in your special outfit? Woo! You make me want to walk like a camel. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. O ye pharaohs, let us walk through this barren desert in search of some pointed boots and maybe a few snack crackers. Ooh, baby, you make me want to walk like a camel. All right, sound check. Is we all here? Are we all? Is the gang all here? Are we? Are we all ASMRing? How are everybody? How's everybody doing? We doing good? Uh, of course, turned on the computer. Thought I could not be more ready for this stream, and then the computer goes, "We are updating." Wheelbite, thank you very much. I really appreciate you liking my hair. I work really hard on it, looking disheveled as possible. Um, Coro, thank you so much, brother. I really do appreciate that. 5 gifted memberships. If you are a member, go to the community tab. Check out all the extra posts you will see there. Most recently, I actually linked a whole bunch of my sources and resources, journal articles, also photos, and other things like that that I used in some recent talks and videos, and it's on a Google Drive document that you can download there. There's a link. So things like that, I try to share with. I mean, I try to share them with everyone eventually, but members, y'all get that access first. Plus, there are 200 extra episodes of Fishery hidden behind the scenes, posted through the community tab. So you have access to those as well. Um, and there's a playlist called like podcast episodes. That's kind of a cheat around that. If you want to watch the video with me and 4 episodes stacked back to back, there's an insider tip for all you early folks. But how's everybody doing? I had the oral surgery. I have no upper teeth. Pretty great sight, right? So I no longer look quite as Detroit as I used to. And I actually feel somewhat better. I think the infection I had that was going up into my bone and everything was just dragging me down with my autoimmune stuff. So anyhow, I've been busy at work reading about fish stuff. I made a little commentary video that did not take a whole lot of time to create or anything. Um, and I put that up yesterday. But I have another video that is researched and ready to go. All the audio is recorded. I'm just needing to edit images to it so that you guys have some pretty pictures to look at. Should be, I think it should come in right around 15 minutes, is what it ended up being. But it's on, are nitrates toxic to fish? That's kind of a big controversy lately. Some people say that nitrates, don't worry about them. You can have them go all the way up to 500 parts per million. Other people say, no, they are a big deal. You need to do water changes once a week and get that out of there, or have tons of plants, or use something to get the nitrates out of the water column. And it turns out that new research was just published. They did a survey in this paper that just got translated to English. It was done in Arabic. But it was a paper that surveyed every paper published, essentially, about if there was a species that was exposed to nitrates, not nitrites, not ammonia, but nitrates. They looked at that paper. If there was ecology journals or soil or water sample ecology stuff, they did a survey of, I think it was like 1,700 papers. And then they came together and kind of came to some conclusions, and basically were trying to advocate creating a limit for agriculture and aquaculture of where nitrate levels should be. So I think this paper is really important because in the past it's been a little bit um, obscured, or a little like, well, we're not sure because it doesn't kill the fish right away. But I mean, that's like saying, well, my kid didn't die, but I'm still like, do you still want him to like, would you still have your baby smoking 5 packs a day or something? Like, it doesn't mean it's good for them. It doesn't mean it's gonna prolong their life, or for that matter, that they're even going to spawn or color up for you. And those are some of the things, along with actually they found like cancer rates and all sorts of other things that are linked to it. So we're going to go over that in that video, and also go over the history of like why the science was so um missing, essentially, because they just thought like it was the least toxic of a bunch of toxic things that were happening. So yeah. Yeah, Coro says you can eat fish from Superfund sites 3 times a year safely. It's totally fine. Yeah, just like the mercury in fish, No, that doesn't build up in your body. Nothing like that. No. Oh, pregnant mothers? Yeah, you guys shouldn't. No, definitely don't expose kids. Oh, me? No, I'm not going to eat it. But you should go ahead and eat it. Mel, what's going on? And Silver Creeks has been with us. I just saw this for a moment. Uh, an incredible 21 months as a member. Thank you so much for bestowing your membership and the name Jedediah uh, Ixianacio Williamson Jr. So Cindy, hello. Logan, what's up? Sketty Nona, Fish Fam, Link, you silly bot, you. 3G, what's up? Tommy, what's up? Stay tuned entertainment. Hello. I copied your tank layer idea for my 10-gallon guppy tank. Works well. Tank works. Wait, works with work. The lava really make. Oh, the lava rocks. Yeah, yeah. The lava rocks are a game changer. In hello, Brian and Kenny. What's up, my man? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, honestly, I had pain from the surgery, and they did manage to. At first, they're like, "Oh, we're good. We didn't perforate your sinus." Went in for the follow up, and I had taken out the stitches myself because they were like getting tight and they hurt really bad. Uh, and I heal quickly in my mouth. I heal quick skin wise. I heal real quickly because of my autoimmune issue. The whole issue is that my immune system attacks things that it shouldn't. So it heals quickly. It's overreactive. But in any case, that causes my energy and my stamina and concentration and everything to just go down the toilet. Um, and since the teeth have come out, I have to say, like, now that everything's kind of healed up, the last 2 or 3 days have been the first day that I've kind of like felt a clarity of mind, and kind of a lifting of the tiredness and fogginess that I'd felt for a really long time. So I hope that that continues, and I hope that that is connected, in fact, because having low grade infections in your head all the time is no good. Hunter, what's going on? Welcome. And Sketty, hello. Um, and let's see here. So yeah, things are pretty good around here. I set up that rainbow tank. I don't know, should I do a video on it? The 186 element, what's up? Stan Pittman, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome back, my friends, to the show that actually ends. So I was thinking, yeah, let's go on a little tour. Let's go check out that tank. I got some kind of fun fish in there, and I think you guys will like it. And then we'll come back and we'll do some Q&A. Yeah, Coro says maybe you'll actually be able to sleep with my mouth waking me up. Yeah, my mouth and my back, between the two of them, man. Something was always there was always something there to remind me. Do, 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 do. That's such a happy song, but you could make it really dark. Uh, my only crazy person that tells uh his fish off when they mess up my plants. No, I yell at my fish constantly when they do that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Right now I have an eel. I have a peacock eel that I bought kind of spur of the moment. My neighbor has a bunch of eels and his are all out and swimming around and they're like, "Oh, look at me, I'm an eel. I'm so cool." And they seem to eat bloodworms and just kind of mind their own business. Like he's got angelfish. He has a bunch of fish that I would never have advised to put together, but it seemed to be working for him. And so I was like, all right, well, peacock eels aren't like, or sometimes called spiny eels, they're not like notoriously grouchy or anything. So maybe, maybe I can try these guys out. And I have a tank that is the Borneo, Papua New Guinea slash, we're going to call it the Sahul biotope because that incorporates northern Australia, Melanesia, Papua New Guinea, and eastern Indonesia, kind of the area where rainbow uh, fish are from, essentially. What is going on, Tanya? Yeah, definitely. Especially when you got chronic illness on top of it, like the infections were not helping. It was an issue of money. I couldn't afford to get the teeth out for a long time, and I think to pull all of them, it ended up being about $1,700, even with insurance. Um, so whatever, but it's done now. And also we got a new roof. So it's like we're slowly checking things off. We're slowly just, buying credit cards and burning them. No. Um, but things are getting taken care of around here. Now that the roof is also fixed, which was something we didn't want to do, but apparently it was like, hey, you're a homeowner, here you go. That's how it's been, being a homeowner has been like, oh, you have plumbing? Okay, well, that's all bad. We need to replace all that. And then, you do your patch job or have your friend and family try to help you out. And it's like, okay, everything's great. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, water pressure was off because half the line was replaced and you blew everything up, or whatever. Good call, average fish keeper. I will try to claim everything on my taxes that is humanly possible. I actually felt like, is this a crime when I was, when I first started working for myself? Slossers, what's up? Radio Flyer, what up? When I first started, and M. Myers, what's going on? From Belgium, eh? Welcome. I first thought like, this is bad. I'm being naughty. Like, saying that like you had a meal with somebody who is, for instance, the owner of a import fish company that you're going to interview, and you drove out to go see them, and in some cases you could even claim like your car, get a company car, blah blah blah. Any case, long story short, like doing something like simply claiming the gas mileage, which they give you a percentage on, um, or a formulary, to go do the thing that you're going to film for your job or work. Like it's just it feels like, wait, I get money for making a video. I get money back that I don't have to pay in taxes. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's very strange. And when you look at what they write off at a corporate level, like nationally, and you see things like, what you can potentially write off, when you do every little thing. And I don't, just because, I mean, I should, because all the big companies do. The average tax burden for the corporation in the US is 8%, even though it's like 32%, 33% is what they're supposed to be paying. The average corporation pays 8% at the end of all the write-offs and subsidies and things. So it's pretty crazy because even like at the poverty rate, Americans pay 15% taxes or 12% taxes a lot of times. So, dude, you've got color in your face. Glad to see you getting better. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Kenny, I assume Kenny, what's up? And also, by the way, man, congratulations on 10K, dude. Your channel has been blowing up activity wise lately, and more power to you, man. That is rad. I love your 100 favorite fish series. I like that you had to come up with 100 favorite fish that you happen to have as well. Like, who has a fish room where they're like, oh, these are the 100 I like the most, not the 100 I have, not the 100 I've had. These are the 100 out of several hundred or thousand. These are the ones that I like the most right now. But they did a whole series over the summer. Was that last year or the year before? And I always thought that was cool. Thanks, Mel. I'm glad you're here with us as well. And also, by the way, Kenny, dude, 41 months as a member of the channel. Holy cannoli. I mean, the channel's been around 7 years now, I guess. But time flies, and your loyalty, your friendship, your support. Thank you so much, man. I remember when we first met in person in, was that 2018? At ADA, was that, or AGA, was that the first time, I think? Any case, I was there with Jason, and yeah, kind of crazy. So, ooh, the red freshwater frogfish. I have seen those, and I believe, is that the one that is super poisonous? Like, it has venom on it, like it's like a rockfish relative. I can't remember, but the frogfish, yeah, they're really interesting fish. I think they're kind of ones that like just sit in the corner and hide. They just kind of like hunker down in the sand and sit there, and they ambush predator. They ambush feed. But they are really interesting looking, and they're really unusual. I don't know if I'd pay $700. I don't know if I'd pay like more than $100 for one, even if I had the room, which I don't really. Let's see here. Cool videos from a cool guy. I got gold dust molly female and a male really red shrimp, and orange female shrimp, and a pair of cherry shrimp. Cool. Right on. They'll make you some Skittles shrimp, I'm sure. Some random colors will pop up with that combo. Just be sure that your gold dust molly does not eat them. The molly will probably eat the babies, honestly. So you want to get some cover in there, some rock piles with like voids in, or the wasser tang or moss, water sprite, whatever, something where they can hide. My wife is back from her walk, and apparently she has allergies. That's what that was.
Sorry.
It's okay, honey. Why don't you come say hi? Show them what your brother sent you. Yeah, really. Yeah. Spring is here, guys. It's almost pond and tub season, I guess. Pretty crazy. So her brother, because her birthday is in 2 days, and her brother, you're not on camera, right?
I'm in the square.
But there's a thing in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, her brother sent her all this really American Irish stuff. And a birthday cake, Oreos, and and for those of you who do imbibe, does that say birthday? Oh, I thought that was like the cake on the front. So, in any case, hello from tropical North Australia. Hey, I'd love to be in tropical North Australia right now. Where are you, in Queensland or something, or Darwin up there somewhere? Yeah, beautiful, beautiful country. Amy, thank you so much. She's Amy says, "Hi, Laura." She says, Darwin, right on. Man, that's somewhere I'd love to go. But yeah, thank you for the support, Amy. I appreciate it. Yeah, since I didn't really make any videos well, I made one a week basically, and not great videos at that. I'll admit it. But I, um, so I appreciate the support. I think of course, when you're sick, the check is always a little light when you're missing work. It's got one of those kind of ironies. Um, Brett Crabtree says, "What kind of fish can go with peacock gudgeons?" A lot. I mean, any little fish to mid-sized fish is probably going to be fine as long as it doesn't fit in the mouth of the peacock gudgeon. I have seen like little chili rasboras and stuff get eaten by them. Now that's not the norm. They normally don't go out of their way to do that, but it's possible. So I mean, anything like a neon tetra or bigger, that is, that is where it's at. Amy, thank you, and thank you for mentioning members too, because members, that's like when I am sick, just like anybody that has a life, from time to time, things like that. And I missed a little bit of time. I apologize, and hopefully I can make up for it in content in the near future. But I wanted to say that it's those memberships that they really do mean a lot, because it assures me of at least I'm going to be able to have a couple hundred from YouTube, that I know is going to be there, and that really does make a world of difference from really not knowing, due to the algorithm, what they will bestow upon me each month or week or day. um would love to hear how you stock gold dust uh geobiotope species for wait. Oh, yeah. So that is something that I am thinking about doing. Actually, the geotank is still something I really would like to do. Now, I've set up the rainbow tank, and I think there there may still be light on it. So let's go look at that right now, and then let's get back to that. And oh man, people are starting to now questions are coming in that are really getting into where I'm getting excited. I would get a diffuser to start with passing wind. You probably don't need a reactor unless you're really doing something specific that like why you want it, and like oh, this plant needs a little more oxygen and flow, and I'm going to direct it here for a Dutch scape that needs it along the back row or something like that. Whereas the diffuser will kind of cover you more over, as long as you've got decent circulation. But people are asking about the pseudogastromyzons, or the gastromyzon group of all those really cool flat little mini stingray looking Borneo and Indonesian hill stream loaches, which I absolutely adore. And recently, it's kind of sad. I did a post on Facebook about it, but I was wondering, where are these things coming from? Like, where are we finding all of these cool new species that don't even have Latin names in a lot of cases? And right now, the Latin names are all mixed up and messed up. Uh, like, some of the fish have 3 or 4 Latin names, some have none. Uh, the taxonomy needs to be clarified, and basically, I think what's happening is that some things are being published in Chinese, some are being published in German, some are in English, and there's not like an overlap and communication super well on the genus, where they'll describe like 2 or 3 species and say like further examination required or something along those lines. But yeah, there's all different colors out there now too, and some are just from one of the creeks in Borneo or in Papua New Guinea. um, the blue tail and the red tail are the ones that everyone's seeing a lot of, as well as the purple fins with the yellow body. Those are really incredible, and I have a couple of them. They look just as cool as the photos online that a lot of people have been passing around. Jesse, what's up? Welcome. Krista, welcome. Any suggestions to getting Masterai Episto with the attitude? They are a pretty uppity Episto. definitely, yeah, definitely. I would do a species only tank probably with them, honestly. And yeah, there's no making purple or anything. It's just these aren't being bred. These are literally new fish being found in the deep jungles of Borneo, and specifically also like the Kalimantan region, where the hill streams come down. And you see like Dr. Fang, Dr. Wu, and Ma, these guys out of Beijing and out of Singapore, doing a lot of discovery in the region. But I did a video about a year ago on Valentiae gourami, on the rainbow chocolate gourami or the samurai gourami, whatever you want to call it. And I was looking for B-roll for that video, and I was like, well, where am I going to find B-roll of freaking Borneo? That's like so obscure. And so I went to Google Earth, and while I was looking around to look at the names of the streams and where the collection points were, their coordinates and their data was at, I realized that like there are hundreds, if not thousands, of photos out in the middle of nowhere in Borneo that are in like 4K. And it's because there's Chinese companies there that are building roads, that are building dams, that are doing the so-called Belt and Road program, which essentially they're going into countries that started in Africa, really, and they're building them stadiums and all sorts of infrastructure in very impoverished countries. And all they ask in return is undying political loyalty and all the rights to minerals. So, you're seeing these regions too where they're coming in and they're putting in giant strip mines or palm oil plantations or whatever it may be. They're kind of it's almost a new level of colonialism, and China's been doing it uh, a little more. Some would argue that it's friendlier in that those countries have a choice and they can kind of they get themselves into it. But when they're so impoverished, I mean, do they have a choice? It's hard to say. But somebody also mentioned, Cindy, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Do appreciate that greatly. Thanks for the support. The new snails, the blueberry snail. Yeah, I have one of those. We'll go look at those in a moment here too. Chris Lukoff and I have been talking a lot, and he was going to come on the channel, or I was going to come on his channel, or vice versa. And that's still in the works, hopefully. I think he's coming out, like Corey's going to fly him out, I think, from Germany to do some aquarium co-op stuff. And we live in the same town. And so I was really hoping we could meet up. But I think he might have like an exclusive thing with Corey where like he's not going to do other content because Corey is shelling out that money, I guess. So, but I'm really hoping, because we've been talking, we've been friendly. He's been so nice to let me use like photos of like he found that viviporous, what they're calling the blueberry snail that has the neon orange spots on like a dark purple or chocolatey colored body and kind of a magenta colored shell, and it's a live bearing freshwater snail. Super, super interesting. Um, so yeah, but I was thinking of doing in the 65-gallon tank I have. I was thinking about doing earth eaters and like redhead tapajos or gold headed or gold dust earth eaters or something like that. And I would love to do that. I still want them. But the thing is, there aren't that many fish that go super well with geos or pseudo geos, or with whatever, with that general group of cichlids. They just don't get along super well. They're very territorial, and they're kind of they rearrange the plants. Some of them like harder water or like neutral water. Others like acidic, but they're a little difficult. in that sense. Some are black water as well, I guess. So they kind of run the gamut of where they're from and their parameters, but it is hard because there's a good chance that they're gonna kill anything that's smaller than like 2 or 3 inches. Anything bigger than that might hurt them. So I'm kind of drawn back into what I'm thinking I might do in the 65 gallon that I'm going to set up is a canyon type aquascape where you actually are looking into it and it looks like you're looking down a canyon a bit, and then have some sort of like gobies and kind of like fish that crawl along the substrate and that perch, uh, is my newest thought, because I want to use this new aquarium to the fullest and be able to show you guys new and cool species and stuff. But in there, I could do, if I did that sort of a tank, I could also do like hill stream loaches if I had good flow going down towards the bottom, like with two hang off the back filters or something. I could also do that, and then they'd kind of mimic like almost an incline or a stream or a waterfall. So I'm pretty tempted to do that. So let's go take a look at some of these weird new colorful uh, fish I have. Also at Moonlight Aquatics, I'm working on getting a um, true. K-Ming, it does depend on the geos, and the size too. Like some of them are not that big, and it's not that big of a deal. Like they won't get shoved around too much, but you still want to kind of have a medium sized fish with them. Or if it's like a tetra or something, you probably want to have something a little quicker. Like you don't want necessarily like an ember tetra, maybe like rummy nose would be as small as you'd probably want to go. Maybe you don't want something with long fins like a Prostella tetra or a skirt tetra because they could get nipped at, something like that. It's hard to say exactly. Yeah, and Altafrons in a 65 would be a stretch exactly. Um, But anyone see Starlight, Bristlenose, Plecos? Yeah, those are really cool. The blue seam ones have been popular for a while. Very nice looking ones. Uh, that's the other thing is if I got that 65 set up and got it all planted, it would be really fun to show off a lot of the new tetras that are coming out. Um, I would love to have a Stiffidon and like Goby tank where I could live feed them and, watch them have a bunch of them going at once. I think that would be fun, like a Goby and Hillstream Lochi suckerfish type tank. Um, and the Coolie Loaches are from I picked that video's like 5 years old now, 4 years old, and I did get a few babies from that female. I don't know how they raised them. I think they just ate biofilm. Honestly, they came out very, very small, little versions of the adults, very skinny. Most of them didn't make it from the number I saw right at first. Like they were in a little den kind of underneath, like not there was one of those ceramic caves, and I lifted it up and it was like all these little worms, were the coolie loaches at the time. And those maybe they were like 20 or 30 when they were babies, and I think maybe 6 or 7 ended up growing up to be coolie loaches. So yeah. Um. Oh yeah, definitely, Ross. Thank you from Ross from Baltimore. Come on, guys. 55 likes with 96 people in here. Come on. Yeah, hook it up, honey. What are you watching? I can hear it.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was just curious what it was. It sounded like the feedback sounded weird. I don't know if anybody in the stream could hear it, but I can hear it in my headphones. Okay, guys, so let's go take a little tour of the fish room. And a friendly reminder, guys, if you guys want to get fish and you got the extra money and you're not going to buy them from, your local store or whatnot, Dan's Fish is a great place. I got a discount code and helps out the channel, helps you out a little bit, with, like basically takes away some of the tax. And, I want to do something like a drawing for people who use the code like every so often. I think that's what we might do to try to encourage it getting used even more, so that you use my code rather than Aquarium Co-op's code, which gets you the same discount, or whatnot. So I'm trying to come up with some incentive for you guys to do that, because it helps me out too, because I get 2% of the residuals. So yeah. Can you talk about the difference between geos and pseudo? No, not right now. I need to brush up on it, to be honest. So yeah, that's a good point. Passing wind. Always hit the like button on the way in. If you don't like it, you can hit it again on the way out and turn it off. Exactly. I appreciate that reasoning. That's nice. Oh yeah, I understand. If you're in Canada, you gotta stick to your Canadian sources for sure. Okay, so let me get you guys up and running, and we'll go into the fish room. Hopefully, we won't get this feedback going too bad here. Hold on. All right, can you guys hear me? We're going on an adventure. It's an adventure time with adventure fun. All right. So here we are in the fish room. Oh no, the lights just stopped shining. When the lights go down in the city. So, anyways, the other thing that you'll see is that the freaking roof that had the leak, now we can fix that. But doing the drywall and all that in a fish room, man, it's going to be not fun. That's for sure. That's for certain. Uh, and here we've got some little scuds and some pistos still doing their thing. They've never spawned in there. They're just doing their thing. The male's more active than the female. The pH is super low in there, to the point where the plants have started to die off. But yeah, he's up in there doing his thing. Then we've got my green water tank and a large scud. So these are bigger size scuds. And I enhance them with calcium and stuff. And then we've got the little scuds over here. And then there are scuds in here, but there shouldn't really be. This is paramecium. If you look at the water, it's foggy with a bigger grade. So I've been using all those in order to grow up my wild maha chiensis bettas. Here you can see we got a couple of the, come on, glare. We got a red one with some green stripes, kind of interesting female probably. And then we've got another one here that's definitely a male blue. And then their parents, which are over in here with some little white cloud minnows, but the burgundy and blue is from the mother, and she's up here. And then the father, oh, here he comes. Father's right here. He's got a little burgundy in his tail. But yeah, they're pretty cool. And this generation of babies, there's like 6 or 7 in this tank, and then there's more down here. This guy, he had a mouthful of babies, and I was really excited. This is the Beta Malak compuncta, different species, but he freaking spit them out and then killed the female. So that was really frustrating to me, and sad. So such is life, I guess. But so let me show you guys too that over here we've got one of those funky new loaches. Now this one does not have a name yet. This one is totally new and interesting little gray guy. He's got yellow on his fins when he's perky, and kind of like a cloudy gray pattern on him. He's just kind of chills in that corner all the time though. Not a super reactive one. Not super pretty, but interesting nonetheless. He came in with the others. Got the peacock gudgeons in here, and then we've got the little gobies, the little bumblebee gobies. Also, we had velvet on some of the sahulensis that I got, the rainbow fish. So I put them in here with these Beckford pencil fish too, and put them in water that had a vastly different pH and hardness than the water they'd been in. They were in a tank that was super soft. This tank has quite a bit of hardness to it and a pH that's like over in the, almost around 8. Here's another betta right here, little wild betta. And then also the swordtails, they're doing their thing. They're playing around. This tank has got some algae on it. I mean, that's what they want. But these guys are the Zophophorus pygmaeus. They're the true wild swordtail pygmy version that has no actual sword, which is kind of funny. They don't really have much color either. They have kind of a yellow hue, the males, when they color up. But hopefully they'll yield some babies soon. We got a female here that actually looks pretty good if it would focus. I think maybe that there's too much algae on the thing. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Dan's Fish had these. Now they're getting around again in the hobby. For a while, though, they were going for hundreds of dollars for just a few fish, and they were live bears. So it's really cool to see the new species entering the hobby that were in the hobby years and years ago. This is the easy, lightweight, as I like to call it, rainbow tank, where we've got Luminatus, we've got Gertrude, Aru 4s, and then we've got Sahulensis, and then we've also got Threadfins, just in a 20 long with the hang off the back filter. And they are doing well, lots of plants in there for them to lay their eggs and kind of claim a territory. And basically my hope is to pull them out species by species and then put in spawning mops in, say, like a 10 or a 20 gallon tank elsewhere and feed them like lots of good live food while they're in those tanks and collect some eggs again soon. Because all those fish are worth fairly decent money. All right, so now to the newest tank. And to the tank with the mostest, the hostess with the mostest. This tank is still clearing up a little bit. It's still in its learning to fly, but it's not got wings stage. And you can see I put in algae wafer right here. That was last night to feed this guy, or early this morning, I guess, like 4 a.m. And I love this saddle loach, the way he looks. Really cool fish. He's full grown right now, and he's probably 5 inches, 4.5, 5 inches, and he colors up like a really beautiful red and burgundy when he's eating and happy. But he really wants biofilm, so what I'm gonna have to do is go get rocks from other aquariums that are already cycled and use those. But right now we've got a little show from some of my favorite rainbows in here. So we've got the guys that are showing off the Trilineatus and or Trifasciatus. They're pretty cool. They've got the different color tone stripes, and then in here too, these ones, the males, their heads turn blonde. It's really interesting looking. You'll see it
maybe, yeah, you can see the teeny bit there starting in the nose. But these guys, their fins will turn burgundy and like purple, and then they'll actually get this like really blonde color on the top of their heads. It looks bizarre. And those are the Aphanis, uh, which are another fun little fish. And then back there, hiding, they're still young. They don't have their full color, but we've got the Kalitawa rainbows, which they're doing their thing. They're small, and over here, the bigger guys seem to stick out in the front for the most part. Mr. Loach seems to just do his thing, loaching around uh, up up over there, and yeah, we got a lot of flow, a lot of oxygen to this tank. We got the lasagna substrate in the back. It's probably 8 inches tall, and I put a peacock eel in here, hoping to someday see it again. And I have not yet seen that peacock eel again. I mean, the sand substrate was possibly a dumb decision. I started with white sand sub. Oh, look at the blonde coming up on this one's head. Remember how I told you they get blonde? You can see right there in the head starting. So they're getting excited. They think they're getting fed, which maybe they will be. But yeah, I don't know where the eel is. So now I'm kind of like checking under the easily accessible parts of the scape. The problem is that the eel can burrow really well. And it could literally be under right here and we wouldn't know. And it's not a little eel. It's a sizable, like maybe 8 inches long. They get about a foot long, but probably 8 inch long eel. And I wanted to make a note too that I used blasting sand in this aquarium for the black sand, and I regret that. Here's a Kalitawa male starting to color up. They get this cool white color on their fins, and then they turn half gray, half silver, and then they get the red tail. And the females actually kind of turn this kind of greenish blue color. They're a neat fish. If we're looking though, man, I wonder where that eel went. I really don't see the eel anywhere. Nowhere obvious, anyways. Um, they stick their nose out and kind of stay in tuned hunting. Here you can see though this loach. Maybe we can get him to come around. Yeah, here we go. Really pretty fish. I got this guy at Moonlight Aquatics, which they do sell online. If you go buy something from Chang over at Moonlight Aquatics, he's still relatively new to selling fish. He's in his early 20s. And, I think that some of it could be improved, but you can't improve his prices or his choices of awesome fish. It's just, I would quarantine him if I were you, because a lot of them are coming in being imports. And he's trying his best to treat them, but he's still learning. He's just brand new to owning a fish store. And Moonlight Aquatics, definitely a place worth checking out if you feel comfortable, kind of taking over that care, that prophylactic care of your fish, not worrying so much about, you can't worry about the disease issue as much if you're going to buy from someone who's kind of new like that, or even just a local fish store. But I'm really happy with these fish in here at the moment. I think they're getting along well. I think the eel is kind of a waste of biotope space at this point. I hope he comes out. Um, so I'm gonna add just a little bit of food just so you guys can see them do their thing. They're pigs. They're total pigs. Um, and I like to feed the Shire species. I'll feed them in the back at the same time as everyone's swarming the front. but you can see their colors really brighten up when they're feeding, like that blonde starting to come back again, and the blue colors and the all the different little subtle shades start to really come out. So now I was thinking about putting a lot of those little small hill stream fish into this same tank, and I put a couple in, and they kind of just got lost immediately and hid back in the decor. Uh, I'm gonna leave a few in for algae, and I'm also gonna add some snails to deal with the algae. But I'm waiting right now for my blueberry snails to spawn. Uh, but I also got some kind of interesting plants. Hopefully they'll do okay. We'll see. I've only had them in low pH settings in the past, whereas this is kind of a more neutral aquarium. Uh, and like that's a homilomena is the name of that plant right there. And it kind of looks like a crypt. It kind of looks like a sword. But I wish I had not used blasting sand. It caused a little bit of like algae growth where the sand adhered. I don't know if it's fungus or what it is on the leaves now, but it started as like an algae or slime, and then it got worse. And same with like on this crypt over here, like it should be a beautiful red, and where I wiped it off daily, it stayed pretty red. But like it's really dull from all the silt in that sand, even though I washed it a lot. Um, but yeah, the bummer about that eel is I just wish we could see that eel because the eel is like yay big and really cool with the tail. I don't know, I've been looking at night and I don't see it come out. So I really don't know the answer on that one. If it's just going to be an elusive fish in the tank kind of thing. Also, I'm debating getting more of these guys. I was worried about their bio load, kind of, but they're just so cool. And at the store, they were being really social. They're not cheap, um, but perhaps if enough of y'all end up checking Moonlight Aquatics out, maybe he'll help me out with one of those. Again, here's the big old Epistomegoptera, the big male. The female hides down below all day. And then over here, let's take a look. I should have some of those snails to show you. So yeah, we got one right on the window. Let's see, is this the male or the female? We got a couple of each. I bought a few of these now. They were about $15 a pop. They're kind of expensive. But here we've got focus, focus. Can we get it to focus? Focus. Focus, focus by focus. So a male has a antenna that is curly. So this is the male. See its curly, weird little antenna. And not trying to spook you, but losing a giant eel gives questions. Yeah, it's a pain because those eels are burrowing eels. How do you add calcium to your tank? Just add crushed coral or even eggshells to your aquarium. You can add a little bit to your filter if you want it to hurry up and your bacteria to break it down faster, or you can just sprinkle it on your substrate. I literally just take some crushed coral or crushed shells. You can use cuttlefish or cuttlebone, and put that in. So these little guys, let's try to get better light on them. So they give live birth every 3 or 4 weeks. Kind of interesting. And there's one little baby up there that was born about 3 weeks ago, I want to say. And there was another one in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Here's the newest one. And you can see they've got like a reddish auburn purpley kind of color to them when they're first born, and they kind of just hang out and do their thing. But they're born from the female, obviously. Well, that's not obvious. Some snails are non-gender exclusive, or the females can sometimes perform parthenogenesis. Um, but yeah, see that white stuff? That's just crushed coral. There's no filter in this tank, no heater, nothing. This tank is just a tank, and it looks like the nearite snails are not really doing a very good job of scraping the algae right now. See how much algae there is, and there's some water stains right now. But these little guys, I'm probably going to need to start feeding them again because they've been eating any sort of scud or little um, seed shrimp, hydra, any planaria, stuff like that. When you don't give them any food, like literally no food, and they're not eating the shrimp food because it's like a pellet down on the ground, little nano fish will surprise the heck out of you, and they will eat every little critter that fits in their mouth. I mean, fish are just ruthless that way. So here we've got, here, let me bring forward some more of these snails. I bought 3 adult snails, and I think now we have a total of 6 of these. So here's another one of the blueberry snails. I'm still kind of learning what they can tolerate, how much calcium they need. I was, in this tank, which is kind of neutral for the Neocaridina shrimp and for those little guys. Um, my I didn't want to like overdose the calcium and stuff and have it too hard. Oh, now I'm kicking everything up. I can't get this one snail out. But here you can see the snail going to town over here with the orange dots on it. The blueberry snails are kind of cool. The fact that they give live birth one at a time, though, is what attracts me to them. So I like anything in the genus that does that because they're not going to overrun your tank like all of a sudden. But slowly but surely, you get some really cute little baby snails, and that's kind of nice. Also, down here, the light, I need to get better light on all of this. Right now, I stole the light and I'm using it for something else. But the floating plants aren't helping either. So I need to clear all these floating plants. But we've got the little checkerboard cichlids, the stray gourami, and then also I got a new guppy line. So this is like a tie-dye metallic guppy. And the light's not the best on him right now. Let's see if we can get this. But this is the weirdest tank I've ever had. So in here you can see that there's like single-celled organism like paramecium or something floating in the water that the fish love to eat, baby fish. We've got shrimp in here, so Neocaridina shrimp, and then we've got literally 15 eels, or rather loaches, of the yo-yo loaches or dojo loach, not yo-yo, sorry, the dojo loaches doing their thing. Checkerboard cichlids, they're doing their thing. See that? When they're bored and they don't have food, they'll eat planaria right off the glass. There's some tetras in here too, obviously, and I've got some plants waiting to go into the next tank. But the snails here, like, talk about too many snails. I must have overfed. That or the light being so dim is causing a die-off to some degree. Or they're all just out. Actually, they might all just be out cleaning these roots since I uprooted those plants. But all the Malaysian trumpet snails, especially since the lights are up, are right there in the front. And I have some cories that I might, even though it's nothing to do with the biotope, might throw down into the tank down there just because I want something at the bottom with like cleaning up better. I was thinking the eel would help that, but I think the eel just hides. I don't know. I'm going to have to get some more experience on the eel, see how he settles in. It's only been a couple days. This tank's out of control. These guys are doing really well and spawning even more, which Dots Magazine, a German magazine, they have a new name now, I guess, but they wrote me an email and were like, we want to know how you're spawning those. And I'm like, well, I don't know, but I'll share my setup with them. You know what I mean? Because in here we've got a few species of the red pencil fish, and then we've got these little hovering zebra loaches from Myanmar and Thailand that I really love. I threw a whole bunch of shrimp in here thinking they'd do okay because I found 3 or 4 large yellow shrimp that were like really healthy and beefy looking, females, large females. And so I thought, oh, cool, I'll put like 15 more in. So I grabbed a bunch of shrimp out of here, put them in here, and literally not even 4 days later, they're all gone. There's still just the 2 or 3 beefy ones that are too big to probably fit in the mouth of the fish. So even when you think that a tank is safe for your shrimpy friends, think again sometimes. But yeah, this tank, the Sawasser tank, is just out of control. There's all these botanicals and things down below, and that is where all those zebra loaches are spawning and stuff. And so right now, there's just not really good room to see what's going on. So I need to pull a bunch of that out, but I just hate throwing plants away. And you can see here, there's a young male zebra loach. The young males hang out down in here. There's another one up there, and they're only about an inch long right now. And then there's the adults that are like 2.5, 2 inches long that'll come out. But that one's really young actually. That one's like about an inch long. And maybe we'll see the parents in a sec. But anyways, yeah, love the Swasser tank because out of sight, out of mind for the baby loaches getting eaten. But here you can see some of that kind of mid-generation, mid-aged loaches. There's the little male again. If we take something like and agitate this Swasser tank, we should be able to see a couple more because there's like 15 or 16 in here now in a 20 long, which feels like way too many. But I mean, the fact that I don't ever see them now kind of makes me think that they like the colony they have. I don't know. It's all trial and error. It's all an experiment. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, see, there's like one yellow shrimp left. But I guess they had a good meal then. All the loaches had a good meal if that's where they all went. But yeah, so let's see. Come on, loaches, come out, say hi. Everybody just got their lights turned on, so they're a little bit scattered and shy at the moment. So yeah, oh wow, these guys are really coming out. They think they're getting fed because I disturbed the water. But yeah, these are the ones I pulled out of Lake Washington here in my state. But yeah, this guppy, he's kind of deformed with his crazy big tail, but look at the colors on him. I got him at Aquarium Co-op, and I saw him, and I was just like, oh, I gotta have you, Mr. Rainbow Genetics. I gotta have you. So yeah, we're gonna see. He's got a big mama somewhere in here. There's also a giant Delphax Cory that was put in here as just kind of like he couldn't get along with everyone. So I was like, okay, you're getting put on timeout. And so this is such a weird tank. The fact that there's shrimp in here and there's the guppies and all the loaches. Like, what is going on? This is like a crazy town tank. But the shrimp, I mean, they've been really prolific in here. That's crushed coral down at the bottom. Dojo loaches apparently are invincible. There's the female of the guppy pair that I got. So let's get her to come around here. She's pretty too. She's got yellow and green on her fins, if I can get light on it. And then the male again is like full metallic rainbow. So hopefully that line we can get going. And then I'll set them up a little better. Also up here where the lights come on later at night, we've got more shrimp lines. We've got more pencil fish being bred, more bettas being bred, green caridina, blue caridina, or neocaridina, and then all these little guppies that are the clear glass belly guppies, the translucent guppies. Started with 2 of those from Moonlight Aquatics. And oh, the little baby's on the glass here. And can we zoom in on that at all? Let's see. I want you to see their little orange antennas. I've posted pictures, but it's so much better when you can see them up close. Apparently no. Apparently no. You guys, no dice. But they've got these little curly Q antennas with orange dots on them, and they seem to do well in like the neutral water with a little bit of hardness. Whereas in acidic water, they do not do well. So the one that I put into, was it this tank? Yeah, this tank, it died, unfortunately. You could smell it, and you're like, oh, there's that. So then we've got all this stuff. We also got to deal with the fact that the leak in the roof wasn't just over here. So it came all the way down through this wall in between the bathroom. So we're going to have to look at that drywall. But we've also got this tank here where I've just got some gouramis chilling, and tried to get my Malawa shrimp population another restart, because they've been on the decline in the fish room, unfortunately, which I never thought would happen. I thought these things would be the cockroaches that outlasted everything. But, kind of suddenly, after one or two of their main huge population centers crashed, that was that. But this all, again, I need to take care of this and update this. I don't know what I'm doing with this. This is all hair grass. This is all carpeting plants growing under the dimmest light in the fish room, just to see how long it will last for, to see how long I could maintain carpeting plants in dim lighting when there's good nutrients. So I don't know. It's an ongoing experiment, but at the same time, I'm a little over it. And in here, we've also got one of the giant bettas that somebody sent me, and they're just growing out, doing their thing. So let's finish off and look at the let's look at the freaky loaches. Freaky loaches, and everybody's lights are off at the moment. Wake up! All the little fishies on their makeup. All the little fishies want to take up. I wanted to. I wanted to. Okay. This tank, you guys know my problem with this tank. Every week to 2 weeks, I have to trim this tank. It's overgrown. It's a problem. I think I need to start selling plants again, to be frank. Like the Colorado, I feel so like, oh, I'm sad because it's a rare plant and I'm just going to have to throw it away. Same with like the Kabamba furcata, that's beautiful. But at the end of the day, I think I'm either going to have to start throwing it away or redo everything from scratch. Pencilfish at night, by the way, when in the dark, their stripes go the other way. See that? They get 3 to 5 stripes, depending on the species, going the other way. And that's because they actually go into the shallows and into the reeds, whereas the main part of the river in most of the Amazon River is not a good hiding spot. It's open water and sand and maybe some sticks and stuff. But yeah, these guys are really good. These and here comes the giant betta, who's getting a little more friendly. He's been a little shy, but getting a little more friendly. I don't know. I feel like this tank's losing its potential by the day. Then we've got this tank over here, and here, this is where the new loaches are, obviously. I've posted some pictures of them. Usually they're in the back, but again, I just turned on the lights to try to catch them in the front, because they kind of scatter in the day and then kind of come together at night again. But they're really, really cool in the colors that they have. So I have a couple new ones. And I think now there's 3 species of these tiny little Borneo loaches. Some have spots, some have like crazy maze-like zebra patterns. I've also still got the blonde Endler strain that somebody watched. One of the friendly viewers sent me, and they are looking really pretty. I'm getting them kind of acclimated each generation to softer water.
X-ray catfish are doing well. The betta is fine. I don't know. I don't know if it's happy or sad or anything. Again, all this junk on top of the aquarium is annoying me. All the duckweed and whatever, red root floater, water lettuce, wolfia, azolla. I've got too much of it. But yeah, these guys, they do a really good job cleaning the glass for me. So I've enjoyed them. Also, the tin Winnie Danios, enjoy them. We've got some new baby fish over here. We've also got the Medaka from the Mekong Delta right here that are one of the smallest Medaka species, if not the smallest. They've got a little blue eye and they got like a metallic blue at the top of the water. And yeah, this tank's happy, zero nitrates, yada yada. But again, the chaos, the way it looks to my eye is a problem. There's a lot of dead snails because this tank's like so old. So I need to clean out their shells. Otherwise, it's going to end up being just a lot of minerality and hardness. And nobody in here particularly wants that out of the fish species. So yeah, and I'm thinking maybe some more flow and oxygen for those loaches than just to hang off the back would be good. I'm really surprised that these brand new little endlers and some of the Danios that have been spawning, these tin Winnie, that they're not getting eaten right off the bat, but they haven't been. So fingers crossed, maybe some will make it just in this dense maze of vegetation and oddball. Some of them are rare plants. Um, but yeah, this is one of the blue-tailed spotted Borneo loaches. Then we've got the red-tailed ones, and we've got the lineolata, the butterfly ones. This is one of the blue-tailed ones too, that has gold and blue on its tail. I'll have to do an episode on those on their own. Here comes one up a rock too. He's coming up the edge of this rock, and you guys probably can't see him yet. But is this a blue one? I think this is a blue one. Yes, this is the blue and gold variety that has spots, and its tail is blue and gold, and then its fin is gold or yellow, kind of translucent, and it's got little white cream spots on a gray body. So kind of cool. And then these ones also blue and gold, blue and gold. So all three of the blue and golds are up, and then the blue ones were on the side, and then we've got two or three red ones in here also. But I'm looking for more reds because that seems to be one of the harder ones to find out of the groupings. People are just bringing them in as hillstream loaches, Borneo hillstream loaches, and you're getting one of like five species, and nobody knows what's what species wise importer list. So that's kind of chaos at the moment. Um, what else do we have going on in here? Anything of interest? I guess, I mean, there's some little, other than the wild Medakas from the Mekong Delta that are super tiny, that are kind of cool, there are still polka dot rasboras in here. There's a couple up in there. And there are also pencil fish that are doing their thing, the little red ones that have the little red tails. Gotta like them. But that's about it, guys. So you see what's going on here. I mean, things are a little limited. I've had to kind of wind down. Now that you can see the pencil fish turning up their normal pattern because the lights are on, you see that the vertical bars have changed to horizontal bars. But yeah, so that's what's going on. I still probably need to cut everything back. I mean, cutting it once a month isn't enough. Cutting it a couple times a week isn't enough. uh it's pretty wild. So yeah, all right, let me get back to my seat and then we'll wrap this up. All right, my friends. How is it going? Thank you so much, John Oliver, your guppies, Jay Oliver's guppies. Thank you for being a member for over 2 years, man. That really does mean a lot. That is wild. Thank you so much. Um, I do love Daniel Tinwini. I would recommend them highly. Probably my favorite Daniel, probably the most peaceful and one of the smallest Daniels, right there with CPDs and like erythromicrons, but they are much more outgoing, especially if you have a good planted tank. So yeah, guys, I am so glad to be back, and I'm so glad you're here with me. Uh, Great to see you all. Let me know what you'd like to see more of content wise, of course. Uh, Trying to get some more interviews and get some experts in here on various things and talk about their specialty, get outside of my comfort zone. And also, we'll be going over some of the species that I've acquired recently, probably get into some summer tubbing and some of the new like Taiwanese, um, the little, as they call them, bitterlings, or the little small cyprinids that look kind of like barbs, or they look kind of like tiger barbs or snakeskin barbs a lot of times, or rosy barbs. But there's all different species from India to Taiwan, and the ones in Taiwan, the ones in northern India are able to survive in really cold water. So they're great for the aquarium that's not heated, but more so even like outdoors where it gets down to like 40 degrees or 4 or 5 Celsius at night. Uh, All right, let's see here. Fishery, have you heard or considered using a Venturi for flow and aeration? Yeah, I have. I've also thought about like Heroes Fountain from Greece and some of the interesting siphon setups they have. Most of them you have to recharge the ballast tank, with some sort of pump or something every so often, and then you can get it to run without electricity. So basically, you're using electricity to carry the water up to a level that's higher or to a pressure that's higher than the water in another chamber. But by doing so, you don't have to run water or run electricity all day. You just run it enough to fill up that reservoir, and then slowly it trickles down. So I have wanted to come up with some sort of non-power or non-electric pump or filter system that runs in the tank, that aerates the tank, like Greek and Roman fountains, kind of. I have not had splash tetras, but they are super cool, and I have seen folks who are using them and spawning them in the aquarium. Uh, Lawrence Kent had some when we toured his place. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully, everything continues on its merry way with recovery from health issues and things. And I do so appreciate you being here. Thanks for spending the time with me. And I hope next time, hopefully Tuesdays, Fridays, 4 or 4:30, depending on my day, will be the time we stream again. I'd like to get back to a schedule. AG, right on. You finally caught me live, and you went to Moonlight and got some chilies today. Right on. Like I was saying, let him know I'm sending folks that way. I'm hoping that he'll sponsor the tank so that we can get some really weird oddball fish to take a look at. And it's all about me, because they're at my house, So have to say that's clearly my own personal interest speaking, but I do appreciate the support. All right, guys, have a good one. And Sketty, I appreciate it. Lara will be very touched that anybody remembered her birthday from the internet world. And that's very thoughtful. Thank you. We should have a good birthday for her on Sunday and not an hour earlier. This is not a birthday month. That is not allowed in this house. Maybe she's not paying attention. Bah humbug. She's listening. But in any case, I'm hoping tomorrow I'll have the video, as in the graphics, animation, infographics, and video finished for the great nitrogen debate. Do nitrates kill fish? Do they make your fish sick? Do they prevent spawning? Or are nitrates harmless if you have a planted aquarium? Well, scientists have kind of officially thrown their hat in the ring on this question, which for a long time they didn't bother to answer. So we're going to go over why they didn't bother to answer that, and also what their answer was in that video. All right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful night. Take care of your fish, your plants, your own mental sanity, so that you can take care of the people around you and their mental sanity, which will reinforce yours, reinforce the health of your critters. And yeah, Amy Lou, I have a video of what aquarium supplies you should buy at Petco or PetSmart versus, I think I said big box store, versus what you should avoid. And it is up online currently. It came out about 6 or 8 months ago, but that exists. So great minds think alike. But if you have ideas for videos, guys, I'm always open to them, always thinking of what questions you have, and also still kind of hoping to do one live stream where I talk at you and with you a bit, and another where I just talk with you. So we'll get there. But much love, everybody, and I will see you hopefully Tuesday, if all things go as planned. Take care. Bye.